तुमि ऋषिकेश ऋषिकदमीया तुमि ऋषिकेश तारो हे संस्कृति घोरे तारो हे संस्कृति घोरे গোপীনাথ গলায় লেগেছে ফাঁস গলায় লেগেছে ফাঁস कृपा सिधोरी बंधन छेदिया विनोदे करो दास विनोदे करो दास গোপীনাথ আমার উপায় নাই আমার উপায় নাই তুমি কৃপা করি আমারে লইলে संसारे उद्धार पाए संसारे उद्धार पाए গোপীনাথ আমার উপায় নাই আমার উপায় নাই জয় রাধা গোপীনাথ রাধা গোপীনাথ রাধে জয় রাধা গোপীনাথ রাধা গোপীনাথ রাধে রাধে The meaning of this song is, O Gopinath, I have no means of success, but if you take me, having bestowed your mercy upon me, then I will obtain deliverance from this world. O Gopinath, I have fallen into the perils of material illusion. Wealth, wife, and sons have surrounded me, and lust has wasted me away. O Gopinath, my mind is crazy and does not care for any authority. It is always senseless and has remained in the dark pit of worldly affairs. O Gopinath, I have accepted my defeat. All of my various endeavors were useless. Now you are the only hope. O Gopinath, how shall I make any advancement when my mind has come under the control of the powerful senses and does not abandon its attachment to materialism? O Gopinath, after sitting down in the core of my heart and subduing my mind, please wake me to you. In this way, the horrible dangers of this world will disappear. O Gopinath, you are Rishikesh, the lord of the senses. Seeing me so helpless, please control these senses of mine and deliver me from this dark and perilous worldly existence. O Gopinath, the noose of materialism has become fixed around my neck. taking up the sword of your mercy and cutting this bondage. Make this Bhaktivinoda your humble servant. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. We'll do 5 minutes kirtan also. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Radha Gopal Radha Gopal Radha Gopal Radhe Radha Gauranithai Gauranithai Shri Shri Gauranithai Gauranithai Shri Shri Gauranithai. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवृतिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीपीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवृतिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा पुरी धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, भक्ति देवी की, श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा गोपाल की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our last session, and particularly the last session in the series of six anarthas. Today evening, we are discussing on the topic of envy, Matsarya, which is also called as Asuya. In Bhagavad Gita, at least in two places, Lord Krishna glorifies Arjun for his freedom from envy, using the word Anasuya. So, what are the slokas? Beginning. स एवायं मया ते अद्य योगो प्रोक्त पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चति रहस्यम ये तो no. In this bhakta word is directly used. Okay, ठीक है, no problem. Find out. Homework. हाँ, इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्यामि अनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानं सहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्षस्य अशुभात्. Okay, so 9.2 maybe. Idam tute guhyatam pravakshami anasuyave. Anasuyave. So this is very important quality. So our disease mainly is envy, and the symptom of that is fault finding. So anytime you are finding fault with anyone, you have envy, particularly towards that person. So that's why fault finding is very dangerous. It is clear indication of the envy in our heart. One should not see any fault. There is no fault in the creation because it is Lord's creation. How can there be fault? The original reason for Jivas coming to this material world is envy only. Ichha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata. Because of his desire to be independent of the Lord and his dvesh, envy towards the Lord, he comes here. There are so many examples, of which Hiranyakashipu was so much envious of Prahlad. Though Prahlad was just his small son, very innocent, very devoted to the Supreme Lord. But because Hiranyakashipu envied the Supreme Lord, naturally he was envious of Prahlad also. So because we are envious of Krishna, we become envious of his devotees also. We won't spare devotees. If Krishna comes here, we'll become envious of him. We'll try to kill him. We'll try to attack on him. So that we already did in Golok Vrindavan. So we are sent here in the prison cell. Now here we exhibit our envy towards other living entities and also to devotees of Krishna. Because our original envy is towards Krishna. One whose envy towards Krishna is gone, he will love all the devotees of the Lord. At least he will be able to respect them. So we should not judge others, we should not see faults in others. Just imagine if Krishna finds faults with us. How many faults are there? Kalaira dosha, nidhe rajan. And Kali Yuga is completely packed up in our heart. So the heart is filled with faults. So one should not judge others. So he says real non-violence means freedom from envy. When we are not envious of others, then only we are non-violent towards them. If we are envious of others, we are violent towards them. We may not externally attack, but internally we are attacking. We are speaking bad words, or in the mind we are having bad thoughts of attacking them, etc. Envy is compared to holding charcoal in hand. I want to throw it on the person whom I am envious of, but the problem is he is not in front. So that long I'm holding the charcoal, hot, red hot charcoal. Then what happens? My hand only keeps burning. So that is the problem. Personification of envy is Shishupal. Shishupal was very envious. He wanted to enjoy Rukmini, the sister of Rukmi, and because they were in the same group, birds of same feather flocked together. So Rukmi was also part of Shishupal's friend circle. He decided to give Rukmini, his sister, to Shishupal. Though Bhishma, the father of Rukmini, and Rukmi also, and all the people in the kingdom wanted Rukmini's hand to be given to Krishna in marriage. But Rukmi was still adamant. He said, "No, I will give my sister to Shishupal." And Shishupal had been lusting for Rukmini for lifetimes. He was the one Ravan who kidnapped Sita and wanted to enjoy her, but then there were some problems. Threatened her and all that, but ultimately got killed by Lord Ram. That lifetime he could not enjoy her. Now this lifetime his marriage only is fixed with Rukmini. So how much anticipation that I will enjoy Rukmini, but then Krishna comes and kidnaps her. Then he is all the more disturbed. Shishupal was envious of the Lord from childhood anyway. He was the Mausi's son, Krishna's mother's sister's son, Shishupal. He was born with four hands, but when he came on the lap of, it was told also, what do you call, prophecy was there, that whosoever this child comes on the lap of, and if hands melt, two hands, then that person will kill him. So as is the custom in India, brothers and all, so Krishna took Rukmi, this Shishupal, on his lap. As soon as he took, his two hands melted. Immediately Mausi understood, Krishna, you are going to kill my son, please, my dear, what do you call, nephew or whatever, please do not kill my son. Krishna says, yes, as far as I'm concerned, 100 offenses I will forgive, but if he crosses 100, then I'll have to kill. Every time this fellow, when he would give ill names to Krishna, he would count also. You bastard, you fool, you rascal, he would count simultaneously. But when Krishna was given Agra Puja in the Rajaswiya sacrifice of King Yudhishthir, there he just could not tolerate. This was too much beyond his imagination. How dare this person be given so much honor, despite his being a cowherd man's son? And then he kept on blaspheming Krishna one after other. All the Pandavas were ready with their sword, their bow and arrows, but Krishna stopped. No, wait, wait. He forgot to count. I am counting. So, and Krishna counted. When he crossed 100, Krishna chopped off his head. So Shishupal is also envious. Rukmi is also envious. All these are envious fellows, but Shishupal personifies. Duryodhan was envious of Pandavas' opulences. He gave them Khandav Prastha, a fit for nothing land, useless. But then this, with the help of Maidanav, whom Arjun conquered over, they converted into Indraprastha, a very beautiful city, palace, everything. And when Duryodhan came there, he was shocked. What, I had given third class, not 10th class place, but these people converted into such huge, beautiful city and palace. And then when he entered there, it was quite, because Mayadana has a lot of illusory tricks. So he had arranged that in the palace also. So at one point of time, he saw some kind of pond. He thought, I should not, my dhoti should not become wet. So he took his dhoti up and very gently he entered in the pond, because that was the only way to go to the other side. And he entered and he put his leg, then he found there is no water there. It's illusory. So he laughed and said, what is this? Okay, no problem. Then he went little ahead. Again, there was another pond. He thought, this is nothing. He just entered there, but it was actually a pond. And then he fell down in the water. His clothes became wet. Somehow he got up, and all the people there in the palace, they started laughing. Ha 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 ha. And particularly Draupadi laughed from the laugh. So he became very angry. What nonsense! This Draupadi is laughing. I'll teach her a lesson. And that's how he tried to get her disrobed also. So there everybody laughed at him, and Yudhishthir Maharaj was telling others, shh, 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 don't laugh, because poor fellow. But then Krishna is in the heart of everyone as Paramatma inspired. Hey, laugh, have a hearty laugh. Krishna is inspiring from your heart also, it seems. So you are on Yudhishthir Maharaj's side. So then they laughed, and then inevitable happened. Inevitable means Krishna's desire anyway. So it is said there is no envy in the spiritual world. The 15th chapter of third canto, we find nice description that all the bees, insects there, they are humming and producing nice sounds in in the Vaikuntha world. Then a bee comes who has just got association of the garland of the Lord. When that bee comes humming, nice humming sound, then all the other insects, bees, they stop their sounds and they inquire from honey bee, what is the latest news? Aaj ki taza khabar. You have just come from there, and they give. Similarly, all the plants there are very fragrant, very amazing, but all are aware of the austerities performed by Tulsi Devi, and they respect her very much. There is freedom from envy. That's why so much respect and all that. When there is a failure in anyone's life, there is sympathy for others to them, for him or them. But when there is success, then people become envious. So when you are successful, be careful. Some people will be envious of you, whether you know or not. Similarly, if somebody else is successful, you will be also envious. Hmm. Hmm. How dare this fellow got so much success? He got placed in Super Dream Company. Hmm. I was dreaming in the night yesterday, and they kicked me out, saying that you don't even know these basics. What did you study in 4 years of engineering? My God! And this fellow got there. So people will be envious of you, and you will be envious of others. Just like you can see so much envy towards Pakistan by Indians. Hmm? But if there is some earthquake there, some calamity, then so much sympathy. Then Indians will give money. Okay, very bad thing happened. So you can see how the nature of this world is. That's why be careful of success. Not that you don't become successful, you give success to Krishna. By Krishna's grace, something happened. I am useless fellow. What do I do? I do nothing. I only eat and sleep. That's all. In the Bhagavatam also, envy is not entertained. The second verse of Bhagavatam itself says, dharmo projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayonmulanam श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परेरीश्वर सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात्. So in the first line itself it says dharma projita kaitava atra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. The all types of kicking religions are kicked out. All types of cheating religions are kicked out from Srimad Bhagavatam, and only it is for nirmatsaranam, those who are free from matsar, from envy. They can release Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is for them only. So in the world, people have so much of this envy. Famous example of crab is given. When the crabs are put in one particular pot or something, one another fellow from other country, he said, "Arey, it is lead is not there. They will all go out." So then that fellow told, "No, these are Indian crabs." When one crab tries to goes out of the basket, immediately some other crab will catch his leg and pull him down, like that. And then when this fellow tries to go out, then immediately another crab will pull his leg, and thus nobody will be allowed to go out. All are safe inside the basket without lead. So that is how the world is. Crab mentality. We find Daksha becoming envious of Lord Shiva. Such a nice son-in-law. Who could be a better son-in-law than Lord Shiva? And so humble, so simple. Name itself is all auspicious, Shiva. But Daksha did not. He was envious of Lord Shiva. Mm, So he thought, what is this? My daughter's eyes are like fish, uh, like a deer, and this fellow's eyes are like monkey's eyes. And he smears ashes all over his body. He doesn't have any residence. Very heavily, he criticized Lord Shiva in public only, which was wrong on his part. And then so many calamities happened. Ultimately, he ended up having head of a goat. That is the result. If we blaspheme pure devotee, then we will be not having the face only to show to others. Our head will be removed. Similarly, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear the son-in-law of Sarvam Bhattacharya, whose name was Amok. He was also very envious of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sarvam Bhattacharya invited the Lord to his home to take prasad, and he cooked so many items along with his wife for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my wife was cooking inside the kitchen, and he was getting hot items one after other to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One point of time when the particular item got over, he went inside to refill. That time Amoga came in. He saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with huge plate having so many items for his enjoyment. He was already envious. He said, what nonsense, this sannyasi is enjoying life, this is not the way a sannyasi is. He started speaking all ill names and loudly was shouting. Certainly he heard Sarva Bhattacharya. He came out to see who is that. When he found his own son-in-law, he became so wild. He looked here and there, then he found there was a stick. He picked it up and ran behind his son-in-law, Amoga, to beat him. But Amog was young man, son-in-law is young, whereas father-in-law was old. So he chased, but son-in-law very swiftly ran away. And Sarvam Bhattacharya came back, said, "What nonsense, this rascal!" By that time, his wife came out. She heard some commotion, and she found out. that our son-in-law, our daughter's husband, has given so many ill names to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She became so upset. She said, "Let my daughter become a widow." This is very terrible curse. No mother will ever think of her daughter becoming widow in the wildest of dreams. And here she is directly saying only, "Let my daughter become a widow." Because what kind of son-in-law in whose association my daughter is staying, who blasphemes the Lord? Better he dies, and later better my daughter becomes a widow. So this tendency of envy is there in every living entity. That is the original cause. In fact, this is more dangerous than any of the other five anarthas, namely lust, pride, greed, anger, or even illusion. In fact, two of them also cannot be equaled with envy. Three of them also cannot be. Because it is said all five put together, what ball is made, that ball is called as envy. Lust, pride, greed, anger, illusion. Put them all together, that is envy. The envy is the original. Everywhere you will find the envy is innate. It's a foundational thing. If one is lusting for something, he's envious. Oh, why he has? Why not me? I should have that. So he's lusty for that. Similarly, he's angry. So there also envy is there. So anger will be exhibited. Similarly, pride also. So he is thinking, "Arey, why is he glorified so much? I am no less." So there also envy is there. Everywhere envy is there. That is the original thing. And according to Shri Prem Bhakti Chandrika of Narottam Das Thakur Mahasaya, there is no substitute for envy, no solution for envy. Hmm? All others we discuss. Kama Krishna Karmarpane, Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane, Lobha Sadhu Sange Harikatha, Moha Ishtalavine, and Mada Krishna Gunagane. But for envy, he gives no solution. He said that should be given up. But we will come to solution. Hari, if Narottam Das Thakur doesn't give solution, how are you going to give solution, Prabhu? Hmm. We are envious of you. No, no. I'm just joking. But I don't have my own solution. But our acharyas will give solution. Don't wait for some time. Narad Muni will give solution. We'll come to that. So all the Kanishta Adhikaris have envy, whereas Madhyam Adhikari does not act upon envy. He will be freed from envy. The four characteristics of Madhyam Adhikari: Ishwareshu tadadhineshu balisheshu dvishashu cha prema maitri kripa upeksha yah karoti samadhyamah. So Kanishta Adhikari, he worships deities and he is also fighting with all other devotees. Fight, fight, neophyte. That's the definition. He'll have fights with everyone. Whereas one who doesn't fight with others, he's non-envious. That is Madhyam Adhikari. He doesn't act upon envy. So four characteristics: Ishwareshu, towards the Lord, he has prem. When I say Radha Gopal, Jai, is object of my love. And devotees, Maitri. Anywhere you find any devotee, be junior, senior, equal, whatever, that doesn't matter. Any devotee means friend, like that. Not that he's junior. He's not a friend. I am friend to him. Suhrudam Sarva Bhutana. I am great soul. So not that kind of rascal Kanishtadhikari. We are talking about Madhyam Adhikari. So toward devotees, friendship. Any devotee means friend. That is his understanding. So there's no question of fighting and all that, backbiting, envy, etc. Then those who are balish, those who are innocent, towards them, Kripa. He is very compassionate. He gives them Krishna. And those who are Dvishashu, those who are envious, Kanishtadhikari becomes envious of them. Whereas Madhyamadhikari avoids them, knowing that they are infested with envy in their heart for the Lord. I should not associate. I may also get infested. So he keeps safe distance. He avoids them but doesn't become envious. That is a Madhyamadhikari. So we should strive to become Madhyamadhikari. And that will mainly happen by avoiding offenses in chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So our spiritual success is good if we develop ruchi in Shravanam and Kirtanam, in the hearing and chanting process. That is very helpful. Whereas mm, our material success will be dangerous. Or if our success we consider as becoming the servant of the servant of the servant of the Vaishnavas, more and more masters, all my masters, all devotees. So if that is what our progress, our success formula is, success definition is, then we will not be envied by others. But any other material ways of your calculations are there, then others will be envious of you. Some devotees also will be envious of you, especially Kanishta Adhikaris. Earlier we discussed success leads to mm, envy, whereas failure leads to sympathy. So talking about spiritual success, you have a lot of tests for hearing and chanting. Then people will not be envious of you. You act on in the capacity of being the servant of Vaishnavas. So then others will not be envious. But if you have material success, any kind of post position you get, even in spiritual managerial circle, some devotee may be envious of you. Most likely, they may not reveal, but they will be. And the nature of envy is such, one desires any bad thing for his that object of his envy. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur gives example that one man, he worshipped the Lord, and Lord was pleased. Lord appeared to him, said, yes, what benediction you want? So he said, oh Lord, whatever my desire, every time I ask you, please fulfill my desire. Lord said, fine, I will fulfill whatever you ask, I will give, but whatever you get, double of that your neighbor will get. This person was very envious of his neighbor. He thought, double? Okay, no. Means he did not understand the gravity. But then he asked the Lord, I want one house. He got one very beautiful house. But then he went out and saw his neighbor had row house, ground floor and first floor. He was wondering, what is this? He got double of mine. He said, oh Lord, please give me courtyard. Nice, beautiful garden in the front courtyard. Then he got very beautiful garden with nice flowers, birds chirping, etc. But then he went and saw neighbor had two gardens, one in the front courtyard, one in the background courtyard. Then he thought, Arey, he's getting everything double of what I get. Then he said, Lord, please make me blind by one eye. So his one eye went. So only one eye. So then he went out and he looked at the neighbor. He saw he is blinded by both the eyes. Said, that's it. I achieved. At what cost he achieved? He lost one eye. So but he was happy. Now he's blinded by both the eyes. So this is how that, like red charcoal, that example. One doesn't understand. This envy is there among demigods also. We find Indra becoming envious of Rutrasur, attacking on him. When Vishwamitra performed austerities, Indra became insecure because of his envy. Envy is characterized by two things, attachment and aversion. Just like every coin has head and tail, similarly, when we are attached to some, we are averse to other. We don't realize, but that is true. Among devotees also, we may find, we'll see that we are attached to some devotees. We like to be with them, we like to hear from them. But simultaneously, we don't like some other devotees. They come to us asking, Prabhu, could I ask you a question? What is that? Why are you coming to me? I am very busy. So you'll be averse also. Because envy is there, you will have attachment to some and aversion to others. And sometimes the attachment to the person can convert into aversion to him also. Like in marriage life, we can see, especially so-called affairs. They're attached to each other like anything. Jina to kya jina, tumhare bina. And they just can't remain without. And then they marry. So love at first sight and divorce at first fight. These are our Gaurang Sabha jokes. Hope you don't mind. You are also Gaurang Sabha only. So everybody is a worshipper of Lord Gauranga. Not that Grihasthas and those boys who are getting married, they are all envious of Lord Gauranga. Not like that. They are lovers. They are in the same Sabha only. We are all in Gaur Nitya Sabha for that matter, not in Gaurang Sabha and Nitya Sabha. So then they become so angry on each other when some fights happen after marriage, because what they looked for was superficial. The most of those love affairs are based on gross body observations, superficial thing. That's why Kundali is not matched. So the subtle body things are unknown to them. Then come when they come together, then the subtle body gets very close to each other. Then they got to see each other very closely. Then they have problem. So the attachment turns into aversion. They don't want to see each other's face. They latch themselves in different rooms of the house, and then eventually in the court, and then they don't want to see each other's face forever, like that. Prutu Maharaj, Indra became envious of. When Prutu was performing austerity, he was performing sacrifices. Indra came again and again and stole the sacrificial horse. Such envy is there even in heaven, in the demigods also. In the snakes it is there. Snakes payapana bhujanganam kevalam vishavardate. Even if you feed milk and banana to cobras, their poison will only increase and they will sting you with much more poison and kill you also. That's why in the scriptures there is recommendation for killing the snakes if they are coming in our area. When Prabhupada was there in Chaitanya Mutt, where Bhaktisiddhanta, when all of you have entered from ISKCON side, Mayapur, how many of you had been? So from ISKCON side, when we come and then we entered in Chaitanya Mutt, like this road goes, but this right we take and we enter inside the arch. Then the first building which comes, which is I think currently Brahmacharya Ashram, they say that not allowed for others. But that first floor, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's room is there, where he would stay. So once Prabhupada in his Grahastha days, when he had visited Chaitanya Mutt, suddenly they were all down, God brothers with Prabhupada was there. Suddenly somebody shouted, "Snake, snake, snake!" When that sound came, immediately Bhaktivinoda Thakur came from the room. He opened the door and he came. So what happened? So Guru Maharaj, there is a snake there. So kill it immediately. So then that one devotee went with something and killed the snake. When Prabhupada heard this and saw Guru Maharaj saying, kill the snake immediately. Arey, sadhus are supposed to be compassionate, not jiva himsa, violence to other living entities. Sadhus never think of. And how Guru Maharaj, not just violence, he told to kill only. He was little confused, so to say. But after some days, he came across that seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Prahlad Maharaj says, Modeta sadhurapi ruchika sarpa hatya. That even the sadhus are happy when the ruchik, the scorpions and sarpa, snakes, they are killed. Not that just like that you go out and find out where are snakes and kill them. If they happen to come in human society, and they may, because they don't understand, they're envious also, they'll just bite anyone and everyone. So that time they are harmful to human beings. To save human being, we'll have to kill that snake to spare, to save the human being. But we should understand the principle very clearly. Krishna consciousness is to produce non-envious society, Prabhupada says. So among devotees, there should not be envy. A place like this, wise, or a temple, or grihastha ashram, husband, wife, children. And, we may say that there is no, there's so much love for each other. Yeah, that love may be there as long as you scratch my back, I scratch yours. But then, as we said, that divorce at first fight. So when there is purpose, the what you call the desire is not fulfilled through the partner, then they become very envious. They exhibit the envy. Envy is always there, but it is exhibited very clearly through divorce and what happens before the divorce, court case, etc. One can become envious of Guru also. That's why Krishna in his teachings to Uddhav in 11th canto says, Acharya mam vijaniyam na avamanneta karhichit namartya buddhi asuyeta sarvadeva mayo guru. Says Acharya mam vijaniyam. Know the Acharya to be myself only. That's why we worship Acharya, spiritual master, Sakshat Haritvena, Samasta Shastra, on the same level as the Supreme Lord. Krishna has told in Bhagavatam also, to through Uddhav to all of us. Acharya Mam Vijaniyam. Know the Acharya to be myself. So we treat him on the same level. Na avamanyeta karhichit. Never disrespect an Acharya. The Martya Buddhi Asuyeta, because of your Martya Buddhi, your mundane vision, you may think Acharya to be like yourself only. And he also becomes hungry and he also has so many difficulties. So he also develops headache, body ache, etc. So he's like me, and if you see Acharya with mundane vision, you will become envious of him. Na Martya Buddhi Asuyeta. Don't be envious of an Acharya. Because if you see with mundane vision, then you'll find, Arey Guru Maharaj ke liye car comes, AC car, so many grahasthas are bringing. He wants to go here from here to 5 kilometers, and 10 grahasthas are bringing cars. When I want to go 100 kilometers, also not even one grahastha asks. Even if I ask grahasthas say, bro, car is not there. What is this? So much opulence for my guru and nothing for me. He'll become envious when he sees in a mundane way. That's why the best way to reciprocate or to deal with guru is to hear from him. When we hear from him, then we understand, my God, what advanced realizations he carries, how he is in deep love with Krishna. And then one will not be envious. That's why the personal servant is also recommended to hear from guru. Otherwise, he also will mistake the spiritual master. He will think, oh, He only does this, he only does that. So when he hears, he will come to realize. Namartya Buddhya Suyeta Sarva Deva Mayo Guru. In the pure devotee spiritual master's body, all the demigods also reside. So one should not be envious. We find when this King Chitraketu married something like 1 crore wives. But nobody, through nobody, he could get a son. But ultimately, through Angira Rishi and all, the sacrifice was performed, the payasam was given by him to be given to his favorite queen, and he gave to the first queen, Krutadyuti. And she bore a child eventually. Child was produced as per Angira Muni's instruction. He gave the child the name Harshashok. But then other wives became very envious. This is how it becomes. Now Chitraketu become more attached to first wife. Earlier his love was equal to all whatever the 1 crore wives. I don't know how he divided the love, how he could meet them first. God knows. There may be some group visit, I think. Some 100 wives in one palace, something like that. How they stayed, that we don't know. But something he must. That is his headache. Why should we worry? We did not marry even. So, but then somehow, so his, so to say, love was equally divided. But as soon as Krutudityu produced child, now child will be in the arms of mother only. Hmm. Other ladies may take, but then he starts crying. He has to be going to his mother's lap only, mother's body only. So the child was with her, and then naturally he'll go to her. Oh, give me my son, and he takes, and then he starts crying. Then now please take, you take care. So their dealings increased, love increased. She gave the child. Naturally, his whatever love will increase for her. So this was observed by other wives and said, what nonsense. Why is he so much favoritism? So much he is favoring her. And what about us? He is neglecting us. We cannot tolerate. All the problems started because of this child. This child needs to be removed from our life. So they fed him poison. Small baby. How many months old? Not even 1, 2 months old. And they fed him poison. How cruel, how hard heartedness is required to feed poison to such small baby. And who is so innocent, has done no harm. But envy is like that, spares no one. They fed child the poison and he died. Then Harshasho, this Chitraketu as well as Prutaditya were completely torn apart. So we can see the envy can lead to murder also, killing any innocent person also. So thus envy is very dangerous. So many things can be said, but we'll see the remedies, the solutions for envy. The first solution is constantly engaging in Shravanam and Kirtanam, non-stop Shravanam. That's how we have long classes, isn't it? Because then only you'll do constant hearing, and I also will get opportunity to do constant chanting. That day on Ramnami day in the temple, I recited one shloka, if you remember, in the beginning. Purusho Ramacharita. How many of you remember? No, means you remember that I began the class with some shloka somewhere. From the sky, the sound was vibrating. So that shloka is very important shloka. I would say maybe I should do that homework first. We should all memorize this purport by Prabhupada. Amazing purport. Now I'm reading it out to you. That day I did not read because it was in English and the class was in Hindi. Now we'll read. You can repeat after me. Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanair Upadharayan Andrushamscha Paro Rajan Karma Bandher Vimuchate. Translation. O King Parikshit, anyone who orally receives the narrations concerning the characteristics of Lord Ramchandra's pastimes will ultimately be freed from the disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities. How many of you feel that you have envy? Thank you for your honesty. I should also raise my hand. Purport. Very important. Hear attentively. Not very long purport, but still. Here in this material world, everyone is envious of someone else. Even in religious life, now you see, everyone is envious of someone else. Now he is coming to religious life. Even in religious life, it is sometimes found that if one devotee, word devotee directly used, if one devotee has advanced in spiritual activities, other devotees are envious of him. Such envious devotees are not completely freed from the bondage of birth and death. As long as we have envy, we are not freed from bondage of birth and death. Next birth is fixed if envy is not given up. As long as one is not completely free from the cause of birth and death, one cannot enter the Sanatan Dham or the eternal pastimes of the Lord. One becomes envious because of being influenced by the designations of the body, upadhis. I am so and so. I am the HOD of the department. He is assistant to me. But then there is OC also, and the PM also, and so many people above me also. But I will also go up. उन सबको नीचे खींचेंगे तो मैं ऊपर चला जाऊंगा. So envy is very deadly. Spares no one. We don't spare Guru. We don't spare Krishna. So who are this HOD and OC and PC and Messi? No, we can smash anyone. That is the nature of envy. So he says, as long as one is not completely free from the cause of birth and death, one cannot enter the Sanatan Dham or the eternal pastimes of the Lord. One becomes envious because of being influenced by the designations of the body. But the liberated devotee has nothing to do with the body, and therefore he is completely on the transcendental platform. A devotee is never envious of anyone, even his enemy. Do you have enemies? How many of you have enemies? Only you, Prabhu? Two. All others are. Think after the class. कोई है क्या मेरा एनिमी? अरे सब डिवोटी तो मेरे एनिमीज ही एनिमी है. मेरे कंप्लेंट करते रहते हैं, मुझे ऊपर जाने ही नहीं देते. कितना प्रयास किया. सब खींचते हैं मुझे क्रैब्स की तरह, मेरे लोटस फुट को. They should take shelter of my lotus feet. Both are lotus. So lotus feet I have, but they only grab my lotus foot and pull me down. So he says, a devotee is never envious of anyone, even of his enemy, because the devotee knows that the Lord is his supreme protector. He thinks, what harm can so-called enemy do? What harm can the so-called enemy do? Because Krishna is my protector. Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. Thus, a devotee is confident about his protection. We should be fully confident of our protection. The Lord says, Ye yathamam prapadyante, tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. According to the proportion of one's surrender unto me, I respond accordingly. Now, these last few lines, hear attentively. A devotee must therefore be completely free from envy, especially of other devotees. Devotee should be how much free from envy? Completely. And of whom? Especially of other devotees. To envy other devotees is a great offense, a Vaishnava aparadh. A devotee who constantly engages in hearing and chanting, Shravan Kirtan, is certainly freed from the disease of envy, and thus he becomes eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. So, for going back to Godhead, what is the number one requirement? Freedom from envy. And how to get freed from envy? Constant hearing and chanting. So how important it is. That's why Kirtanya Sada Hari. You should always chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But if you don't hear constantly, how can we chant? Constantly. So one should hear also constantly. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavats are of two type, book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat. So Prabhupada's book Bhagavat should be read 24/7 like that. So we should read Prabhupada books on holidays and all, Sunday or something. We should read maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's possible. 6 hours for sleeping, 24 minus 6, 18. From that, 2 more hours, prasadam, clothes washing. So how much? 16. So 16 hours we could read. Okay, take a morning program 4 hours. If we remove 12 hours, you can read in a day. On holiday only, Sunday. Not every day, Sunday. And if some other holidays are there, you think about it. If alone Ekakyamar nahi paebal, Harinama Sankirtane, then two of you come together, three of you come together and decide. Morning 9 to night 9, 12 hours only. And prasadam after that. So something like that. So that is number one remedy for getting rid of envy. Envy depends, envy develops because of sense gratification. So give up sense gratification. In this regard, there are four verses, very nice verses. We have already discussed in pieces, in little bit here and there. I'm just reading 7th canto 15th chapter 22 to 25. Asankalpad jayet kamam krodham kama vivarjanat arthanarthekshaya lobham bhayam tattva vamarshanat. By making plans with determination, one should give up lusty desires for sense gratification. Similarly, by giving up envy, one should conquer anger. See, by giving up envy, one conquers anger. If you are free from envy, you will never be angry on others. By discussing the disadvantages of accumulating wealth, one should give up greed. And by discussing the truth, one should give up fear. Next, he says, by discussing spiritual knowledge, one can conquer lamentation and illusion. By serving a great devotee, one can become prideless. Dambham, Mahad Upasaya. Same shlokas are there. Problem and solution, all are given there. By keeping silent, one can avoid obstacles on the path of mystic yoga. And simply by stopping sense gratification, one can conquer envy. Himsam kamadi anihaya. Simply by stopping sense gratification, one can conquer envy. Next, by good behavior and freedom from envy, one should counteract sufferings due to other living entities. What is it? Adhibhautik klesh. By meditation in trance, one should counteract sufferings due to providence. This is Adhidaivik klesh. And by practicing Hatha Yoga, Pranayam, and so forth, one should counteract sufferings due to the body and mind. This is Adhyatmik Klesh. So all three can be conquered also. Similarly, by developing the mode of goodness, especially in regard to eating, one should conquer sleep. How many of you feel problem by sleep? So the reason is in eating. We overeat, then we oversleep. And the last, Rajastamascha satvena satvam chopashamena cha etat sarvam gurau bhaktya purusho hi anjasa jayet. One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. And then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. That's why I told you, reading Prabhupada books only, because one has to engage in the service of spiritual master with faith and devotion. Many devotees don't have faith in Prabhupada books, Prabhupada's instruction. So how would we be delivered from this problem? He's clearly saying all this can be automatically from giving up passion and ignorance coming to goodness, then giving up goodness and coming to pure goodness. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature. So, very powerful. Just by serving the spiritual master, one will conquer the modes. Then, third recommendation is to accept the leadership of the Lord's pure devotees for getting rid of envy. We should accept the leadership of Lord's pure devotees and just follow whatever orders they give, instructions they give. We just follow them. Done. We'll get rid of envy. That's why reading Prabhupada books is must. I hope now I am able to put it in better words for you. Another next is dance together in kirtan. That also will get rid of envy. Like His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj says that in one, mostly in New Vrindavan, but somewhere in the world. So the dancing kirtan was going on. All the devotees were dancing, and sometimes two devotees come and they dance together. Then suddenly, what happened? One devotee was dancing in the middle, and Maharaj, knowing everybody knew in the community that two devotees are envious of each other. They just don't gel together. So what Maharaj did, he pulled the another friend of means envious, what the envy, and he just pulled him in the middle, and only two of them now in the middle. And it is understood now they have to dance together. And all the devotees are watching. Now what will happen? They don't like each other. They hate each other. And they also looked at Maharaj. They looked at other devotees. Hari, ye kya kar diya? We are in Chakravyuh now. Now we are supposed to dance, but if you don't dance, it will be a problem. So somehow, because devotees were all looking at them, both of them, and they were cheering, हरि बोल हरि बोल. पूरा उनका triggering चल रहा था. So then they caught each other's hands and they started dancing, revolving and all that, and they became such jubilant dancers. They embraced each other at the end, and it was amazing. They forgot their envy, and every all devotees said Hari Bol, because they knew these are outright enemies of each other, and now they have forgotten their enmity. It is said the highest expression of love between two living entities is exhibited when they dance together while chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So if you find that two devotees are have fought yesterday night, just next day morning Mangalati, put them together like that. You may get some reaction for that afterwards, maybe. But if it is successfully done, they will forget their enmity and they will thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. When you pushed me there, I wanted to burn you with my eyes. But then after dancing with him, I thought I will shower flowers on you with my hands. So dancing kirtan is very helpful, and we can see how devotees dance, and then others outsiders also become very happy. They understand so much love. They cannot think of dancing like that because they have so many enemies in the form of friends also. But devotees don't consider anyone to be their enemy, and even if they do, through dancing kirtan, they will forget. Bhaktiyan Thakur's technique for getting rid of envy between devotees, mainly brahmacharis, is that he would tell them to glorify each other. So two brahmacharis who have just fought, and Bhaktiyan Thakur comes to know. So through manager, he'll tell them, call to my room. So they come and he would make them sit facing each other, two chairs here, and they have to facing each other is very difficult when you have fought with somebody. So they would sit like this. Guru Maharaj is here, and they cannot face him. He's in front only. So they are like that. And the Guru Maharaj says, okay, so whatever the name, Vishwakirti, could you please tell some good quality in this Prabhu? Hmm, whatever the name, Radhe Sham or whatever. So like that. Then he's thinking, what? No good qualities. His ocean of faults. But then Guru Maharaj is silently waiting for some glories to come from his mouth. So he's thinking, my God, Guru Maharaj wants me to glorify. Oh, there's nothing to glorify. How can I speak? Nothing is there. But then Guru Maharaj is waiting. He's looking at him. Oh, he's looking at me. So then he looks little bit up. Guru Maharaj, he always wears spotlessly clean dhoti kurta. Hari bol. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, now Radhesham, you glorify Vishwakirti. Some good quality. Then he's thinking, what good quality? Nothing is there. Nothing. He's the rich. He's a rascal. But then Guru Maharaj is waiting, so he has to. No, so he little bit he looks up and again he looks down. Guru Maharaj he wears very nice tilak. Very good. Now you tell one more good quality. So like that, as they keep doing that exercise, he would do. He would be the leader. So as they kept glorifying each other, then they understood. Oh, he is reservoir of so many good qualities. I never thought so. I thought he's only filled with all the faults. Now I realize such good qualities are in him. What happens? Whatever you focus on, that's what they say. No, where attention, where energy flows. No, so where attention goes, energy flows. Isn't it something like that? So if you give attention, then you understand so many good qualities are also there. But if you only have that outlook of finding fault, then you will find only faults. That famous example Prabhupada gives, the of honeybee and housefly. Honeybee in the worst of the dirty places. If some flower or something like that which has honey is there, it will exactly go and sit on that flower, suck some honey, little bit whatever is available, and go to another place or honeycomb it will go. But in fly, even in the best of the nice gardens, very fragrant flowers, one small stool piece is lying on the grass. It will exactly go and sit on the stool only. Hmm. Yes or not? That is housefly. You can see how if you have some wound in the body, immediately it will sit there like that. So we should not be like housefly. We should be like honeybees. They are called as, so there are two terms called as Saravahi and Saragrahi and Bharavahi. Saragrahi means like honeybee, takes the essence, hmm, and that is very nectarian for personal nourishment and others also. And Bharavahi means unnecessarily carrying heavy loads. Like if you carry 10,000 kg of donkey stool, how much money you earn through that? Hmm? You will only be burdened by that, and you'll get flat like that. If you carry cow dung of 5 kg, you could have so much profit. You could make cow dung cakes, use in your fuel, or you sell it in manure as in the fields, or sell it, you'll get something. But 10,000 kg of donkey stool, what do you get? Only bhar, so much of burden, making you trouble. So that should not be done. So we should not be bharavahis. Bhar is what? Faults of other Vaishnavas. So if you are carrying those faults in your heart, oh, this devotee, he is muff. Oh, that devotee, he is dull. Oh, that devotee, he is always crazy fellow. So like that, if you stamp all devotees, you are bharavahi, carrying the faults of all the devotees, which is heavy, heavy burden. But saragrahi means you appreciate even in the devotee who doesn't, like the other day we discussed, that disciple said that even stool is better than me. The gulab jamun was very nice in shape and fragrance and all that, but because of coming in touch with my body, it turned into stool. And even the worms in the stool are better because they turn this stool into manure, whereas I turned nice gulab jamun into stool. So I'm worse than stool, as well as I'm worse than this worm in the stool also. So one should see the good thing. Raisham was telling long before, he told that every day he meets any devotee, first time he sees, he remembers his one good, striking, prominent quality. Like in each devotee, there will be one very prominent quality. Everybody chanting 16 rounds, everybody is following four regulative principles, everybody is attending Mangalati morning program. But one striking thing will be there. You have seen? You contemplate on positive side of devotee. In fact, you can maintain a diary also. Name wise. Prabhu. So and so Prabhu. So, okay, he did such nice thing today. He went out of his way and helped one devotee, or he took a devotee to hospital when that was not his service. In fact, he had exam tomorrow, but he extended himself. So like that, we can maintain the diary of Vaishnava appreciation also. Sometimes on wise notice boards they have that, some appreciation board or something. Do you have here notice board or appreciation board? नहीं. All notices are there, no appreciations are there. So sometimes they have that. Once I was in ashram, I was just going to ashram. Somehow I don't go through that door, main door. I go through some other door. But I went and I just saw that appreciation board. Some mango shaped papers were there, different color. So then I found, and it was appreciation of Sundarshyam Prabhu. अरे मेरा appreciation क्या लिखा है तो पूरा पढ़ा मैंने. One likes to hear his own appreciation. So went through and all that. Then I found the date. Date was some 2 year or 3 year old date. I wondered, 3 years or 2 years it is lying here. I never knew. Then I told अंतोदीप ब्रो, अरे वो क्या है, 2 साल से वही पड़ा है उधर, थोड़ा कुछ फ्रेश हो रहा है कि नहीं? 2 साल में किसी ने कुछ किया ही नहीं, क्या अच्छा कि वो क्यों पड़ा है उधर. एंड बाय द वे आई सॉ इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम आफ्टर 2 years. मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था ऐसा कुछ है. सो इट इज नाइस appreciation ceremony. We should appreciate devotees every now and then. So then one shloka comes in 11th canto, very nice shloka. He says, Nareshu abhikshnam madbhavam pumso bhavayato chirat spardha asuya tiraskarah sahankara vipantihi. So I'll just read 11, 29, 50. This shloka means, for him who constantly meditates upon my presence, Krishna is saying, my presence within all persons. For him who constantly meditates upon my presence within all persons, the bad tendencies of rivalry, envy, and abusiveness, along with false ego, are very quickly destroyed. And Prabhupada's disciples, they say that this rivalry, three things are told. For him who constantly meditates upon my presence within all persons, the bad tendencies of rivalry, envy, and abusiveness. So we have rivalry towards whom? Towards equals. We have rivalry. Then we have asuya, envy of superiors. And we have tiraskaraha, an abuse of inferiors. So all our bad behavior towards superiors, that is envy towards superiors, then rivalry towards equals, and tiraskar, that is abusive tendency towards inferiors, they all will go away. For one who constantly meditates upon Krishna's presence within all persons, along with false ego, they are all destroyed very quickly. अचिरात नरेषु अभीक्ष्णं मद्भावं पुंसो भावयतो अचिरात स्पर्धा असूयः तिरस्कारः साहंकार विपन्तिः वियन्तिः all disappear. And also we should compliment instead of competition. Compliment. Give a nice what you call compliment, what you can say. Appreciation. Yes, instead of competition. He says envy or ridicule of devotees leads to high spiritual, by that high spiritual qualifications are destroyed. Brahmanyata is destroyed. Example is given of Yadukumara's Samba, the son of Krishna from Jambavati, and so many other brothers, they were all playing together. So once in their playing, they wanted to ridicule the sages present in one place, so they dressed Samba as a woman and with sari, and in his stomach it was like bloating stomach, as if he is pregnant, she is pregnant. And they presented him, they put a pillow there, they presented her, Samba, dressed as woman, in front of the sages and asked, my dear sages, could you please tell this girl, woman is very eager to know that she is going to produce child, whether the child would be a son or a daughter. Could you please tell? So if they tell son, that is bogus because there is no son. And if they daughter, that is also wrong because he is not pregnant only. He is he, not she. So then, and they were waiting. What would we reply? Any one of the two, and they are stuck. They are wrong. But then the sages said, neither son nor daughter, he'll produce a iron mess, which will be the cause of the destruction of entire Yadu dynasty. They were shocked. They immediately removed the sari, and sure enough, there was no pillow which they had put. There was only iron mace. Boys were shocked. You know, at least they had put pillow. Forget about boy or girl. At least pillow should have been there. Pillow is gone. Now exactly what they said, iron mace only. Immediately they took the mace to King Ugrasen and told the whole thing, begged forgiveness. And then Ugrasen also, by Lord's arrangement, instead of asking Krishna, who was not present there, generally he would ask Krishna, what should we do? He only gave order that pulverize this whole mess into powder and throw it in the ocean. They pulverized the whole thing. Powder, they threw it in the ocean. By the waves, it was brought to the shore. It got up, it got what you call planted in the beach and grew up as solid iron structures like plants. And afterwards, Prabhashatra Krishna took them all. They drank this somaras. They got intoxicated, all the yadus. They, in their intoxication, started beating each other, uprooted those sticks, beating each other. And they attacked Krishna Balram. But Krishna Balram also attacked them and killed them all. And completed the pastime of earth. Sent them all back to Godhead. So, by ridiculing great souls, one's high spiritual qualifications are destroyed. Then another remedy, he says, Guru is Vrajendra Nandan Preshta. Vrajendra Nandan is Krishna and Preshta means dear. Guru is very dear to Krishna. He is completely free from envy of other living entities. Therefore, he freely distributes knowledge of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of God. That's why being in touch with Guru is very important. Ritualistically, we may do Guru Ashtakam, Guru Puja in temple, but to have hearty connection with Guru, mainly by hearing, in the section of this Swayambhu Munu coming with his wife Shatarupa and daughter Devavati in the forest to meet Kardam Muni and offer the daughter Devavati in marriage to Kardam Muni. So there in the section, Prabhupada says very nice line in the purport. The favor of the spiritual master can be obtained through no other organ but the ears. The favor of the spiritual master can be obtained through no other organ of the body. Sometimes we see, oh, when will Guru Maharaj look at me? And if he looks, oh, my life is perfect. And somebody else says, oh, Guru Maharaj looked at me, and oh, why didn't he look at me? So we think his eyes and my body, that is the thing. Or sometimes we feel that he should embrace me. Guru Maharaj embraced me, some disciples tell, and other disciples say, oh, you are so fortunate. When will he embrace me? So this is not the way the favor of the spiritual master is obtained. The favor of the spiritual master is obtained through no other organ but the ears. Our two ears and his lotus lips. He speaks and we hear. That is how we get favor of the spiritual master. Vani Seva. But we want Vapu touch. Vapu touch is not the spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing, but it is not possible for everyone. Otherwise, the disciples will all line up, 10,000 disciples, and Guru goes and embraces the first disciple for 1 second. Then somebody pulls him, "Arey chalo, both 10,000 log khade bhai." Then he embraces second, immediately is pulled out. Then third, and Guru's whole morning program, afternoon program, evening program, and night program without sleep is keep embracing disciples only. So that is not the way. One should not be crazy and think that my spiritual master should embrace me, should glance at me, should smile at me, and pat on my back. This is not the way. The way is he speaks and you hear. If in the name of Krishna consciousness one gives up preaching and collects funds for maintenance, Haribol, temple construction in progress, fund collection drive for you all. How many are in fund collection? Practically everybody is there, whether you say yes or not. But because you are students, you might not be collecting. But I think Grasthas must be collecting. If in the name of Krishna consciousness you give up preaching and collect funds for maintenance, showing a type of envy of other living entities. This is Kanishtha Prabhupada says. So don't just collect funds. Don't stop preaching. Keep preaching, preaching, preaching. Side by side, let the construction go on. Don't focus so much on fund collection and construction, and then you stop preaching. Then you are showing envy towards other living entities. Preach, more important. Pure devotee is free from envy, but neophyte disciples fight with their god brothers or disciples of other gurus. And you can see very clearly this in ISKCON. God brothers are fighting, God sisters are fighting. So much, my God. We have seen both. God brothers fighting, God sisters fighting, and God brothers and God sisters fighting also we have seen. Complaining to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, just see this Mataji. All the time she is only there in service. And we have so many other Matajis. They want to cook for you, but this Mataji does not allow anyone to enter in kitchen. Guru Maharaj, you tell her not to enter in kitchen. And the Guru Maharaj is wondering, मैं यहाँ किचन कहाँ किचन आ गया मैं तो प्रीचिंग करने के लिए आया था इधर तो crazy disciples keep fighting so they fight among themselves and they fight with other guru disciple hey मेरा गुरु वाहे गुरु तू कहाँ किसका गुरु तू किसका डिसाइपल so two disciples of two different gurus and sometimes the same disciples of same guru they keep fighting like anything. Sridhar Swami says those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness should not envy one another or quarrel among themselves. So quarrels are indicative of our envy. Then he says envy by a materialist is by killing animals and a conditioned soul by preaching atheistic science or pseudo philosophy. So we should not preach wrong philosophy, pseudo philosophy or atheistic science. That is envy of other living entities. The Shad Goswamis were free from envy, and even others, rogues and what you call other people, they were very appreciative. Krishna kirtana gana naratana paro premamrutambo nidhi dhira dhira janau priya priya karo निर्मत्सरौ पूजिता राधा कृष्ण अहर्निशं प्रभ करेक्ट श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरो भुवि भुवो भारावहन्तारकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ. Offer my respects to the six Goswamis. They would chant loudly the kirtan of the Lord. Krishnot kirtana gana nartana paro. Premamrutam uh, uh, they were absorbed in Krishna Prem. And Dhira Dhira Jano Priya Karo. They were dear to both, what is that word? Ruffians and, huh? Rogues is ruffians. Rogues and, huh? Ruffians and saintly person, the word is not there, but the same meaning basically. Those who are Dhiras and those who are Adhiras. Adhiras are ruffians or rogues. They were dear, huh? Ah, gentle and ruffians. Yes, Dhira is gentle. Gentle and ruffians all loved them. They were ecstatic. Then he says, a Vaishnav ruler gives punishment not out of envy or malice, but in faithful obedience to the laws of God. So when Vaishnav says, hang this fellow, not out of envy, that is good for that person. Otherwise, he will suffer like anything in this life and next. So his karma, bad karma gets exhausted when he's hanged. Then next lifetime he can have fresh account. Okay, so these are some of the tips about envy. Any question? But be careful of your attachments. Certainly, scriptures say, Sayeva sadhushu kruto moksha dwaram apavrutam. Attachment in the material world is strangling, choking one's existence. But the same attachment, when transferred to a sadhu, opens the door of liberation. So that's why one should be attached to sadhu. But among devotees, when we are saying, I am attached to this devotee, that means you might be averse to some other devotee. You don't like other devotee. So we have to be extremely careful. One should be free from attachment and aversion. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna several places says, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha, Stita Dhirmuni Ruchyate, etc. One question. Prabhuji, even after knowing so much, I sometimes become envious of material success. Haribol, you are successful because sometimes only you are envious. Not all the time. What can I think? No, the material success is no success. That's illusory. There's no success there. As much as you become successful in material life, you get entangled in the cycle of birth and death. So why you uh, become envious of material success? And others also who are successful, they are also getting tightly bound up in the bondage of birth and death, isn't it? Like I heard long before that once one Brahmana who was very famous for doing Gayatri, he would never forget. So once what happened, somehow he was sick or some problem. So he slept in the afternoon and he kept sleeping for long hours. It was evening and the Sandhya time was passing by. The Sandhya time was passing by. So then one strange man came and woke him up. Sir, get up, get up. So what happened? He said, Sir, Sandhya time is going away. Your time to perform Gayatri. So immediately he got alert. Oh, thank you. He did Gayatri and he then asked, Who are you, sir? He said, I am Kaliraj. Hey, Kaliraj? Kaliraj makes people forget their devotional activities. How did you remind me? He said, if you would have forgotten this devotional activity, this Sandhya, then you would have become very humble. But now, because you did not miss this one also, you are proud. So when you are proud, I flourish. So good. So when others are stuck in the material world, they will be stuck in the material world. Means those they are successful in their material thing, they will remain stuck in the material world, in the bondage. So why are you envious of others' success, or your own success? Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, what is the exact meaning of attachment to Vaishnava? Like, and
It's
what is the difference?
pranipat, pariprashna, and seva. You hear from him, you offer obeisances, submissive, and you inquire from him, and then you render services. That is attachment to a sadhu.
And that difference, attachment and aversion, like that attachment.
That is on material plane. Like you have some success measure. So, like some devotee brings 5 boys, he's a facilitator of 5. So, you consider that to be success. So, you are attached to that devotee. And some other devotee He has no follow up. He has kitchen services. Every day only grocery purchase. That's all. So you are averse to him. He is an ordinary devotee.
But
So attachment to one, aversion to other.
based on any material thing, like
Some material
material
thinking. If it
qualification or
is
anything.
spiritual thinking, you will never be averse to anyone.
Hmm.
You will be equal to all. Panditaha Samadarshinaha.
Hmm.
Difference between non-envy and jealousy. Sometimes they say jealousy is just what you call not what is precise words. Uh, you want to possess what others have. You don't have it what the others have. So then you are jealous of them. But envy means you want to harm them. You feel like let me puncture his cycle because so many boys he brings for work one time a weekly program. उसका साइकिल पंक्चर करता हूँ नहीं तो उसके चप्पल चुराता हूँ. Devotees have done this earlier in ISKCON only कि उसको चप्पल ही चोरी कर देता हूँ. कहाँ जाएगा वो बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए चप्पल के बिना. Like that. And one devotee came in marathon period. He did long distribution. He came something like 11 o'clock in the night, and he thought I will be the last person who might have come to ashram, and everybody is sleeping. So when he came, he understood he's the first one. And he was wondering what is this? Where are others? They are still distributing book. Then he got very insecure. What is this? Then anyway, one top book distributor was there. He had not come, so he slept, and he was waiting. When will he come? And anyway, he came something like 12 o'clock. Then this Prabhu asked, so how many books you distributed? Then he told one figure, 100 or something. And this devotee had done some 2, 3 less. Then he slept, pretended to sleep. And after that devotee slept, he got up, he went out. He distributed 5, 6 more books. Then he came back and he was very happy. I have done more than him. He doesn't know. So envy is dangerous. But mainly in envy, there is a desire to harm others, which is very bad. One should not do that. Prabhuji, we have devotee best friends. Is it also leads to attachment and aversion? Yeah, to same devotee friend, you may have aversion also. I have seen in ashram some devotees saying he is my best friend. One brahmachari saying about other brahmachari. But then afterwards, when he left ashram, he did not consult the other brahmachari about marriage partner, whom to choose and all that. उन्होंने खुद से ही अपना डिसीजन ले लिया. So what kind of best friend without asking friend about life partner? And then they don't meet each other also anyway. Now both are grahasthas, so why can't they meet each other? No. So they may claim to be best friends, but years later they may be averse to each other, or if not, they may be neutral to each other. So these all these attachment and all many times it is on material plane. Hmm? Like you all are in the same voice, so you may think we are best friends. But tomorrow when you get jobs, job doesn't discriminate who is from the same voice. They will place you anywhere, and then you may become friends with other devotees there. So all those kind of things are possible. Or sometimes you may be attached to some devotees, but then averse to some other devotees. I gave already the example. So it cannot be material attachment; it has to be spiritual attachment. Another question. Sometimes devotees recommend or suggest not to go much to home, even when devotional service is done at home. As mother and is a devotee, how to understand? Yeah, basically you may not be understanding, but tomorrow something may happen and you may give up devotional service. And your mother is also chanting many times because you are chanting. You come back home and you stop chanting, she will easily stop chanting. She'll be happy. So don't think your mother's devotion is a pure, unalloyed devotional service. It's many times because you are chanting, she's chanting. Many times because you will not eat food otherwise if she's not chanting one round. So she has to chant one round. Like that. If you are ready to eat from her hands without chanting, she will say, "Fir chanting क्यों करने का?" So don't worry, don't feel bad. You can go frequently for a short while, then going for long time after 1 year or something. That is better. Like we have a kabaddi, 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 kabaddi. Before your breath goes out, you should come back. Like that. So frequent visits for short time, then rare visit for long time. I am going home after 1 year, so I will come back Prabhu twice after 1 month of staying at home. 1 month के बाद सब भक्ति गायब. So don't do that. I never went home only in all my vacations. Winter vacation, summer vacation. From third semester, winter vacation, after third semester, I was in Kunjaveri temple, 20 days, 22 days. Then after the college would restart, I would go first weekend, Saturday, Sunday, because by Krishna's grace, it was 96 kilometers. Just go home. Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon after college is over, go home. Then stay for Sunday. Monday early morning 6:30, leave 10:30 college to Pune. So third semester vacation, fourth semester vacation, fifth semester, sixth semester, seventh semester, and after eighth semester, Haribo, full in. So like that. So if this devotee likes, he can also follow in my footsteps. That is the best. Sometimes while visiting some demigod temple with parents, we start fault finding in the temple. Why to do that? If you want, then construct new temple for them. But don't ask fund from our easy members and Nitya Seva members. You arrange your own thing. How to cultivate respect for demigods and temple? Yeah, because they are servants of Krishna. They are also devotees. Some of them Mishra devotees, but they are devotees. They are in fact having bigger posts than many of us do. What are our posts? Kitchen in charge. uh, आज है तो कल नहीं. किचन ही गायब हो सकता है. अरे प्रभु जी, अरे किचन इंचार्ज था, मैं किचन कहाँ गया प्रभु? वो क्या, कल रात में अर्जेंटली डिसीजन लेके उसको तोड़ दिया हमने, उसको शिफ्टिंग कर रहे दूसरी जगह पे. अरे फिर मैं कैसा किचन इंचार्ज, किचन ही नहीं रहा. हाँ, नो प्रॉब्लम प्रभु, आप वो कोने में बैठे रहो अभी, जब करो. डोंट कुक आवर हेड, cook something in the corner. Hmm.
Proji, one question is that like I have a save of like I said performance and all. So in that like we wear designer like show up thing like the designer kurtas and dhotis. So what is that? That is an artha or what? Or like
That is what?
that is any anartha or pride or envy or anything like
No, what
okay.
superiors have told, if you are focused on their pleasure, service to them, then it won't be a problem. If on your own you get into something, contamination may come in also.
Uh, so how to check that?
Ask, keep in your heart and see why you do what you do. If superiors have told, that's why you do. Are you discarding superiors? You are on your own doing it. Srimad Bhagavatam is for non-envious. How can one become completely non-envious before reading Srimad Bhagavatam? Please elaborate. I said na, Shravanam Kirtanam constantly. That 9.11.23 we read. Purusho Ramacharitam. Hmm. So do constant hearing, chanting. You'll be purified. And otherwise also you can read Srimad Bhagavatam because Prabhupada is the Bhagavat Acharya, with whose with whose help we can read. No problem. Prabhu, you said Vaishnav ruler gives punishment by laws of Krishna. But how can one implement in today's world? Most of them are materialists. Yeah, today's Vaishnavas also, where are Vaishnav rulers now? Vaishnav ruler will do that, isn't it? And laws of state will very much be in line with laws of scriptures, supposed to be ideally. If not, he will put them just like Prime Modi, this what you call Narendra Modi did, no? As soon as he came, he stopped cow killing, isn't it? Though some revolted, but he did it. So he's following dharma. He's backed up by Vishwa Hindu Parishad and many others. So they follow dharma, Sanatan dharma, isn't it? He went to Kashi Vishwanath to do arti. He went to Kedarnath. So that is a religious ruler, and he's setting nice rules. There are fake notes that were there. So immediately he arranged demonetization, isn't it? Because in Pakistan they were printing so many notes of 1,000 rupees, and they were sending in India, and they were all fake notes. So much of cheating going on. So immediately, without giving them notice, quickly he turned over the whole thing, and they were in loss. Lakhs of rupees got lost. So much they printed, but it was all useless because the currency only changed. The notes changed.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hmm. Where are you? Okay, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, what is the address of Purushoram Charitam? Actually, I didn't.
Address
Means where, which sloka?
nine point 11.23.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I'll still check once again. You have some question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Where are you?
I am here, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
So the question is in continuation to that statement, Prabhuji, that we should not have attachment to any of our devotee friends too much
Materially.
materially. But many times we are not able to distinguish. So if that attachment is coming because he is taking care of me or he is helping me, maybe devotionally, sometimes materially also. So is that fine or something we
That
have
is no
to?
problem, but you don't become averse to anybody else. Oh, I like this devotee only, and I don't like this devotee because they don't take care of me. That means you are in the center of your spiritual life, not Krishna. So naturally, you are envious then, because you care for, your all that.
And also one question, like if we are, because we are trained in the voice and mostly our lectures belong to Radhesham Prabhu and His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj. So many a times, even after passing out, we are prioritizing or we are hearing to the lectures of them. So are sometimes even if the lectures pops up in our notification, we think that okay, we have to listen to those lectures. So is it like aversion to them?
That I don't know. That you only ask yourself. But you read everyday Prabhupada books for 1 hour, and then hear some other pure devotees lectures as your personal hearing. Envy develops by sense gratification. Please elaborate. Yeah, in fact, it is sign that your desire to gratify your senses shows that you have given up Krishna and you have come here for your independent plan of enjoying your own senses. The sense gratification is the clear indication of envy. So one should. So envy is there. That's how we are going for sense gratification. And the more you gratify your senses, more you become envious. It's reciprocal or what you call, like that. Any other? Okay, you ask.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna Raman Prabhu.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे आपने स्टार्टिंग में बताया था कि सोल क्या करती है, वो रिवोल्ट कर लेती है भगवान से, एनवी कर लेती है। मतलब सोल तो क्या होता है, जब गोलोक में रहती है तो पूरी प्योर होती है ना, कोई विकार नहीं होता, तो उसमें विकार फिर आ कैसे जाता है कि मतलब
That is causeless unwillingness to serve the Lord. That's what our acharyas have told. He has the freedom always, so he may misuse that freedom. And the cause is said causeless unwillingness. कुछ कारण है ही नहीं उसको एनवी करने का, लेकिन फिर भी वो करता है.
और एक और चीज, मतलब स्क्रिप्चर में वही श्रीमद् भागवतम पढ़ा था, तो एक जगह आया था कि कैसे फॉर अ मटेरियलिस्ट, मतलब ऐसा होता है कि मटेरियलिस्ट के लिए वो सिचुएशन अनइमेजिनेबल है जो एक ट्रांसेंडेंटलिस्ट फेस करते हैं, यानी फील करते हैं। तो
या निशा सर्वभूतानां,
हाँ वही,
डे एंड नाइट.
हाँ तो वही जो था ना कि फिर जैसे सोल है, सोल तो एक पूरी ट्रांसेंडेंटल वो हो गई, तो उसको फिर एनवी करना मटेरियल वो होता है कि मटेरियल लोगों का, ठीक है, तो सोल एक मटेरियल बिहेवियर फिर कैसे शो कर देती है गोलोक में
बिकॉज
रहते हुए?
कंडीशन ना, ही इज एसोसिएटिंग विद द प्रकृति.
मतलब
पुरुषो प्रकृतिस्थो हि भुंक्ते प्रकृतिर्जान गुणान कारणम गुण संगोस्य सदसद योनि जन्मसु. He is associating with the three modes of material nature. So that's why he is getting higher and lower births, and he is accordingly getting more and more entangled. Sometimes he may go up heavenly planets to enjoy, but he is entangled only. No escape. Yes.
Yeah, heard in one lecture of like His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj. He said that even if we think someone, even if we think ourselves as the well-wisher of someone, it is like being envious to the God. But
That's why we should know Krishna is enjoyer, Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the friend. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloko maheswaram surudam sarvabhutam gyatva mam shanti. I am not friend of this Prabhu or this boy. I am Krishna is the friend, but because he doesn't know Krishna, so I am acting on behalf of Krishna. And when I meet him and train him, I'll train him that Krishna is your real friend. कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण कृष्णेर संसार कोरी छाड़िया ना चाल. I'm just a friend connecting you to your real friend, heart to heart friend, Krishna. Like that, we are what you call via medium. This is a transparent via medium, Guru. Like that.
One more question, Pujit.
Hmm.
You said regarding book reading that we can read for 5 hours, 6 hours, but after like
I did not end there.
7,
12 hours possible.
up to 12
Hmm.
hours,
Hmm.
but after like
On vacation, holiday.
on holidays,
Hmm.
but after
Don't bunk college and do that. Hmm.
like 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, like we feel saturation ki अरे बहुत हो गया मतलब अब इतना ज़्यादा कैसे
Then read loudly. Take one or two more devotees. Tell him now you please read for next 2 hours. Then अमन प्रभु को दे दो. फिर मनन प्रभु क्या दूसरे अमन तो सबको दे दो. नमन प्रभु, अमन प्रभु, रमन प्रभु, all those who have waged war against mind, they all can participate. ठीक है ना. संघे शक्ति कलियुगे. One gets strength in Kali by association. So read in association. Yes.
Really, like you told, like John, um, chastising मायावादी is also envy with them, like जैसे आपने बताया था ना कि जो कनिष्ठ अधिकारी होते हैं वो मतलब जो लॉर्ड से एनवी करते हैं उनसे भी एनवी करते हैं.
They are envious of each other. Kanishta is envious of everyone.
हाँ
He may exhibit, he may not exhibit, but he has the envy. Whereas Madhyamadikari, he
Don't.
avoids those who are envious of the Lord.
तो chastising मायावादी is like envy or not?
No, if you are chastising him for his misrepresenting or wrongly presenting the Lord, or rather blaspheming the Lord, then it is not. Krodha dvesha, krodha bhakta
Dveshi.
dveshi jane. One should become angry. But we should ask ourselves whether we have adhikar. Because he's Mayavadi, if he's sannyasi or something very powerful, he may speak many things and you may be confused. Maybe I did wrong thing. He's correct and I am wrong. That should not be the conclusion. Yes.
Proji, there are like while reading Prabhupada books, there are two aspects that sometimes we go into the mode that I should complete this, I should complete this.
No
So
problem. Complete it. and feel the sense of satisfaction of achieving something. But then tell also to others what you achieved and what you completed. Otherwise, at the end, complete kya kiya? I'm not remembering only. Should not be going blank. That is okay. Sometimes quantity reading, sometimes quality reading. That is okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Guruji, you told that we should not, associate with devotees who are envious or
Envious of?
envious from, envy. They have envy in their hearts like that, Guruji. And Guruji, you
All
were
of us are envious anyway.
Ji, Guruji.
But those who exhibit it too much, we have to be a little careful. Keep distance, pay obeisances. Keep distance,
Pay
pay
obeisance.
obeisances. Keep distance, pay obeisances. Respect should not go away.
So, Guruji, you were also telling that attachment to some devotees and ours to some other devotees, that is also not good. Or we want to associate with devotees who are very sincere in devotion, something like that. So how to see both the things
No, that
simultaneously?
is okay. Because that devotee is very enthusiastic, I want to associate with him and get Krishna. That is okay. But if it is on material platform, then there is a problem. When that attachment to a devotee is on material platform, then there will be aversion to other devotees. On spiritual platform, you have attachment. That is very much recommended. Na? Saiva sadhu shukruto. Attachment to a sadhu opens the doors of liberation. That should be on spiritual plane. Many times it is not on spiritual plane for us. You understand?
Guruji, can you elaborate more about spiritual relationship between other devotees? Like mentally, we know only,
That's
but
what, like, two facilitators may be together and they may be appreciate you. You have four boys. I said you also have three, but they are quality boys. Ekas chandra tamo hanti nacha tara sahasrasha. They are just in good terms with each other, and both of them may not like some other devotee in the kitchen who has no boys with him. Okay, he is an internal devotee. Internal. Fit for nothing fellows are in internal management, and all stars, all the moons are in hostel preaching. What they call allied group, pride of association, and all that. Fit for nothing in internal management, in kitchen, purchase, dustbin throwing department. So that kind of thing is not good. So you're attached to facilitators, preachers, and you are envious, averse to others who are doing simple services. Hmm. Avoid that. Then no problem. If you are avoiding that, all devotees are equal. Tomorrow, who knows? That internal devotee may become big preacher. He may be the president of temple. And whereas the one who is facilitator bringing every year two, three boys, he may give up devotional service after passing out. He may pass away from bhakti. So you don't know. Don't judge devotees on material plane. Should be on spiritual plane.
Prabhuji, like I heard that when we should not too much associate with like very senior devotees like Guru Maharaj or something because we may.
One should keep safe distance from fire, guru, and deities, because by being very close to them, when we have mundane vision, material vision, we may offend them. Deities, if you are very close, you may take them cheaply. Like while dressing the deity or something, deity sleeps. Hey Gopal, कहाँ भाग रहा है रे तू? है ना? गोपाल थोड़ा ही भाग रहा है, वो डीटी फॉर्म, बट ही इज इनअटेंटिव इन हिज ड्रेसिंग, एंड गोपाल स्लिप्स आउट ऑफ दैट. हे गोपाल कहाँ भाग रहा है तू? So this is too much casual behavior with the deity. So like that should not be there. That's why the Brahmanas are not allowed to go inside directly. They have to take bath, wear fresh dhoti kurta, pay obeisances, do achman, so many things. Then he can enter inside. Purposefully, rules are very strict. And Prabhupada also said we should worship Radha Krishna in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan. Similarly, fire also. Children, we train them. Parents have to be 24 hours watchful, especially of fire, knife, sharp objects. Because fire is fire. Doesn't differentiate who is elderly, who is small kid. So fire and guru also. Deities and guru. Guru also, if we watch him very closely materially, we may start seeing him as a mundane human being and will offend him.
So we should
That's why hearing from Guru is more important. Then we understand how deep realizations he has.
like if we get opportunity to associate like that also, so we should be sufficiently spiritual.
Also, here on spiritual plane, the more the better. But on material plane, it is dangerous. The personal servant who sees spiritual master spiritually, for him, he makes a lot of progress. Ishwar Puri was serving Madhavendra Puri in the last days when his body was invalid. He was cleaning his body, removing the stool, urine, cleaning the bed sheet, and reading for him, cooking for him, feeding him, everything he was doing. But because he had complete spiritual vision towards Madhavendra Puri, he made so much advancement. And Madhavendra Puri blessed him. May you get Krishna prem. One question here. Hare Krishna Puji, Hare Krishna. When I focus more on bhakti, interest in material study decreases. Haribo. Join the full bhakti cult. And vice versa. Haribo. Vice versa is not good. Be instead of vice versa, be well versed in the voice dealing. How to handle both. First is very good in handling. Second is the basically perform devotional activity in the ashram of devotees. So then anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. What is favorable you will be able to accept. That which is unfavorable you will be able to reject. Studies is not a problem, but excessive attachment to studies on material plan, the material level could be dangerous. Yes. Hmm. So much of waste time is there while bathing, while taking prasadam, maybe while walking, while driving. We should avoid two-wheeler, four-wheeler driving because we may be inattentive. But otherwise, so many other times it's possible. I do my hearing mainly like that only. While taking bath, while taking prasad, like that.
Highlight some exclusive glories of lecture hearing. Continuation.
Lecture hearing, audio lectures.
Huh.
That is recommended in Bhagavatam. Nashta prayasho badreshu nityam Bhagavata seva. Best is direct live lectures only, so that we can ask some clarification questions at the end. But when that facility is not there, then audio lectures hearing. That is very much recommended. Nityam Bhagavad seva, na? And here also it was told, no? Constantly one should do hearing chanting to get rid of envy.
Krishna, Prabhuji, I mean, devotees should prioritize more or hearing or hearing lecture or Prabhuji, hearing kirtan or sometime like that. And during taking prasad, devotees hear kirtan, or we should prioritize hearing more lectures like that.
Lectures hearing or
Kirtans.
sometimes kirtan, sometimes lecture. Morning we have kirtan and sufficiently. Some hearing should be there direct, philosophical. Just like Siddhanta bolya chitte na kore alas. Don't be lazy to speak philosophy. Like that, don't be lazy to hear the philosophy. If you just keep hearing kirtan, 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 sometimes it could be little emotional. So philosophically also we should be stout. But hearing kirtan is also no problem. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you said about the attachment and aversion. It generally happens that we do not find someone to whom we are attached with, but we find many to whom we are averse
to.
with. And another is that
Managers have taken note of your point to be noted.
and sometimes not sometimes it is always that mind is provoking and keeps on provoking to accuse or blaspheme that particularly one or two person to whom who is criticizing us not on material level but spiritual level, but that vision is not with me that I may able to see the spiritual criticism.
We discussed in
And
the beginning that our disease is envy and the symptom is fault finding. So fault finding in others is not good. Envy towards Krishna is exhibited by envy towards other devotees. Let him show your faults and all. What is the problem?
false ego नरिश नहीं होता.
To serve great souls, they will destroy false pride. We have to work upon all these things. We cannot just say that I am a great devotee, only little bit false ego I have. That little bit false ego has to be destroyed. Krishna is working on it. Let him work. चिंता न करे, चिंतन करे. Krishna Chintan. Take it, the greatness of a person has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situation. Accept it. Accept the challenge. Again,
and
Krishna will give strength.
and what to do that of first question aversion with many.
So that is because we are neophytes. So we have not developed attachment to any one, and we have aversion to many. But as we progress in spiritual life, we will develop attachment to few at least, and more and more. When you love everybody in the creation, you are fit to go back home, back to Godhead. You don't envy anyone. You are fully qualified to go back to Godhead. Yes.
Prabhuji, how this principle of Krodha Bhakta Dvesijana is different from envy?
In envy, you may become angry and blaspheme the devotees only. But in Krodha Bhakta Dveshijane, those who are envious of devotees, on them you become angry. They are really envious and they are envious of Krishna, and that's how they are.
In envy, it is selfish, and in this principle, it is like.
No, not like that. In envy, you are envious of other devotee. But when you are krodh, that purification of growth is done when you become envious, when you become angry on those who are envious of Krishna and devotees. Becoming envious of devotees is not good, which we show by becoming angry on them. That is not good. If somebody else is envious of devotees and speaks ill of them, we should become angry on them to get rid of our krodha.
So that is permitted.
Huh? That is required, in fact.
Yeah.
That's how your krodha will go away. Just by suppressing anger, you won't be purified of your anger. It should be expressed, exhibited where, when, when somebody is envious of devotees or Krishna. Yes.
Usually, while we get like while we get an opportunity to do services which we can be independently thoughtful, and we can do some things. But at the same time, we get a thought that, oh, if I do this thing, then I should once consult superior maybe. And on the side, we feel that it's very small thing to consult. At the time, what should we do? Like we should
Better consult. Better safe than. Better safe than.
never.
Arey, better safe than sorry.
Better late than never.
Ah, don't mix up. Better safe. And a question has come. Paramatma has inspired you with that kind of question mark. Maybe should I ask? No, it's a small thing. Why to ask? No, the fact that that question came, why not? Just like, should I go for this passing water? Must go. नहीं तो आएगा कैसे thought? If you don't have urge, how will you get the thought? The thought came, that means there is something. Get out, go and respond. Like that. Yes.
Should we count like our like sadhana, like when we are serving, or when we are eating prashadam or cleaning, उस टाइम जो hearing करते हैं उसको साधना की तरह काउंट करना चाहिए?
सब कुछ साधना है. पासिंग वाटर, पासिंग स्टूल, स्लीपिंग, प्रसादम, एवरीथिंग साधना. क्योंकि हम साधन भक्ति कर रहे हैं. भाव भक्ति कर रहे हैं आप, मैं आप कर रहे होंगे, आपके चरणों में दंडवत. भाव भक्ति होती है, प्रेम भक्ति होती है, और साधन भक्ति होती है. तो हम साधन भक्ति करते हैं, वैदिक साधन सब विधि विधान करते हैं, तो वो सब साधन भक्ति ही है.
नहीं लाइक मतलब कि उस समय जो
आप जो साधना कार्ड का प्रश्न पूछ रहे तो वो अलग है. I know many devotees of lovers of साधना माता जी. साधना माता जी से बहुत प्रेम करते हैं भक्त, लेकिन उसका सवाल नहीं उठता. वो कंडीशनल हो गया थोड़ा. साधना कार्ड में मास लाने के लिए मैं पढ़ता हूँ. या अनकंडीशनल डिवोशनल सर्विस की बात कर रहे हैं हम. While read, while chanting, while walking, while all that we are hearing. और वो सब कोटे में लिखा नहीं जाता. वो लिखना है तो लिख सकते हैं. आपके काउंसलर को पूछ सकते हैं, वो चलेगा क्या. वो हाँ बोलते तो हाँ. हमारे लिए तो ऐसा कुछ रूल्स नहीं है, तो हम ऐसे ही सुनते रहते हैं. और लिखना तो कुछ नहीं, साधना कार्ड भरना ही नहीं है. ठीक है नहीं. रागानुग भक्ति पे आ गए. यानी ऊपर वालों ने उसके लिए दिया है. ज्यादा कुछ रूल्स नहीं है साधना कार्ड भरने के वगैरह. ठीक. और
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा देव प्रभु.
Thank you Prabhuji for Varanasi trip.
For what?
Varanasi trip.
हरि बोल.
Prabhuji, I have one-
फेयरवेल पार्टी चल रहा है. No problem. It is indeed farewell party.
Prabhuji, I have one question regarding this. You told about aversion and attachment to devotee goes one and together. So this word, this term like sajatiya with the devotees who are comfortable. So in this starting of bhakti, hardly in this second year, third year. So the to finding the sajatiya is lead to the attachment, and and then it lead to the aversion to the other devotees. We may associate with this devotee who are materially minded, or you can say materially having same motive or desire or attachment, and then aversion to the different devotees. So best to have the formal relation with all the devotees, to don't have these sajatiya types. So because
सजाती है, that jati first has to be clear, na. Jati is what? Constant hearing, chanting. So that platform we ourselves have not reached.
when once I consent with the Chandan Prabhu, then Prabhu said that everyone you can be a sajatiya, because if you focus on the Krishna conscious part, so that's why to have the formally relation with to.
Yeah, but some devotee is very exceptionally Krishna conscious. We get attracted to him naturally. He may be staying in the voice, but he's very Krishna conscious. Everything, the way he serves and the others serve, there's a gulf of difference. So we may be attracted to him. That is fine. रामकृष्ण नहीं इसके साथ फॉर्मल रिलेशनशिप ही रखता हूँ नहीं नॉट रिक्वायर्ड isn't it?
And Prabhuji, working with a relationship with equals sometimes lead to some other thing only, like maybe attachment, aversion, or this thing. So directly working with a relation with superior. So what is the loss if one doesn't work in relation with equals?
See, we are in the Vaishnava community, so we have to deal with them, no? So why can't you be gentlemanly and just behave nicely, sincerely, dance with them, chant with them, read with them, hear with them, take prasad with them? What's the problem? Don't go to the other extreme because I told attachment and aversion. So, Hare, it's very dangerous. I should not be attached to any devotee. That is not the point. One should not be attached materially. That I give example of facilitators. They are only attached to each other, thinking that we are allied group, and the others are just internal devotees. So that is not good. That attachment which leads to aversion to our other devotees is not good. Otherwise, in general, we can be very favorably disposed towards all devotees. As I said, no, Madhyamadikara means seeing any devotee is Maitri, friendship. But very deep friendship and all that is different. Like Narottam Das Thakur, Ramchandra Kaviraj. They are really Sajatiya. Rajati is constant hearing, chanting, mad for Krishna and preaching. That much we are not, it's too early to say so in second year, third year. That's why I give example. Even brahmachari who say we are thick friend, but years later when they leave ashram for choosing marriage partner, they have not consulted other good friend. So that shows the fallacy or shallowness of the friendship. Krishna and Sudama, how they were when they were trapped in storm in the forest. They were catching each other's hand, but other hand had Guru's mission also. Swayarud. So that is the sign of real friendship. On one side you have loving relationship, but other side the Guru's mission is also in the forefront. Not that we are only for Guru's mission, hell with all relationship. Not that. And not that we are so loving and embracing and all. We don't go out because we want to develop our loving relationships. To dadati pratigurunati. So why to go to hostel? That is also wrong. There should be proper combination of the two. Yes. Any other? All enemies purged out, pushed out.
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you said that envy is the main cause of lust,
All
pride,
other.
greed, anger. But sometimes we become angry without any reason or without any envious reason.
That you may not know, but deep within there is envy anyway.
Like sometimes we have many things to do, and sometimes one more work is added, so we immediately try to become angry or
Hmm.
sometimes
So you are
rebel.
attached to doing your things. That's why you are averse to do this new service that is given. So envy is there. Attachment to something and aversion to some other thing. Envy is the root cause. Everywhere envy is there. Prabhupada said no there in the purport also. In the material world, everybody is envious of someone else. And even in religious life, one devotee is envious of other devotee. Such clear words are there. You read all of you memorize that purport. 9:11:23. Purusharama Charitam. And the solution is also given. Constantly hearing and chanting. Yes. Any other? डिवोटी तिरछे कोने से देखते हैं समय कितना हुआ है we should not forget we are in the material world. Time is also ruling. Okay, so we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So thank you all very much for your kindness and enthusiastic, patient listening. and enthusiasm in asking question. I appreciate you all. Continue with the same vigor, or if not, much more enthusiasm. And may Krishna, Radha Gopal, Gaur Nitai bless you with their unlimited shower of mercy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we would like to thank His Grace Sundarshyam Prabhu for his Varanasi visit. And although he is very busy, he is traveling to many places, he chooses to come to Varanasi and give us his mercy of lectures, mercy and his lectures, very enthusiastic lectures. So we want him to come very frequently, more
Yes, I'll
frequently than
come. Once in a year is decided.
Roji,
Very
once
frequently.
in 2 months also.
Once in 2 months. Yeah.
So whoever
Because you are
wants
so much thinking like that, I'll come in your dream. Tell me the
all
date
of
when
them
I should.
should
Tell
come
me
to all
the
the
date
dreams.
when I should come in your dream.
Every day you come and give lectures.
Acha, you will have sleepless nights. Then you will send SMS. प्रभु रोज रात को मत आइए, दिन में ठीक रहेगा.
So whoever wants Prabhuji to come very frequently, please chant Haribol. And we'll also thank Prabhuji for this
They
visit.
said horrible. Horrible, bro. You felt it is horrible.
So we'll also thank Prabhuji for this visit by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra once. Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Sorry for delaying your prasad.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji will be leaving tomorrow early morning at 4:30. So Prabhuji has a train at 5:05. So Prabhuji is going to Dhanbad from here. So we are very very grateful to Prabhuji for giving his association. Although I am feeling very much guilty and unfortunate that I could not attend most of the classes, but
You are in creation mode. I mean maintenance mode. Brahma and Vishnu don't meet. Unless there is some universal which we did not face in this situation.
thank you, Prabhuji, very much. Many devotees are sharing that they very much got benefited. So whenever you come, so devotees feel like getting new life and new inspiration in their bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, take prasad. Purena samapayati. End should be sweet.